You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah,
All right, guys, we're into our last podcast batching session for today, and it's the Sparkle song as Kerry and I finish out the day with our last recorded live episode.
And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
And Sparkle.
And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine, go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Hey everyone, welcome to Straight Talk with Sally. We are finishing out the day with the Sparkle song. We have a great guest lined up for you for this session. If you are just joining us, we've had two guests, not our normal three guests today because someone lost power. So we interviewed Rick earlier about branding yourself with powerful images, and we have Kerry coming up real soon talking about all things fashion. I'm really excited to get into that, but if you have not yet done so, make sure that you do not miss any of our episodes, because if you subscribe to the channel, you'll get reminders. Or if you want to know when all of our lives are happening, then just go to sparkleclassacademy.com/calendar and you can subscribe and see all of the updated messages. Ding. But let's get stuck into this interview. If you're somebody who is thinking, how do you brand yourself in fashion, and what should I be wearing this year, and how do I show up and, be authentically you, then you're going to love this guest. Our guest today is a personal fashion stylist and a wardrobe facilitator, helping women, teens, and men all around the world to develop their unique personal style. She's she's learned very early on in life that clothes are an extension of our personality. They speak about who you are and how we like to be seen and show up in the world. And people really notice you when you walk into the room if you dress like you, right? So together she helps you to create effortless style and fashion that really is interchangeable and also identifies you as your personal style, look and feel. So along with what you can learn from her, how to shop smart, how to evaluate your look as a professional, depending on what outfits you should choose from, and really to boost your confidence so that you look on point. The woman behind culture styling is the amazing, the wonderful. I am so excited to have her on the show. Kerry! Hey, Kerry! Give her some sparkles. Woo! Hey,
Hello.
Kerry! Hey, it's a Friday for us. I had 2 Aussie guests today. It's almost wine o'clock. Well, getting close for me anyway. I've been up since 4. So good to have you on the show, Kerry.
Thank you, Sally. It's good to be here.
Yeah, well, look, before we get stuck in, like you and I only ever used to chat at conferences, and I reached out to you a little while ago, and I'm like, hey, I just saw you pop up on my news feed. Let's have a chat. And then I'm like, can I interview you? And you said yes. So here you are. I'm so happy to have you here. And, you know, we got onto Zoom, and I don't know how long we chatted for, but we chatted for a long time.
A long time. A long
time.
Yeah, it was meant to be a quick catch up, and it was long.
So I could just imagine who knows where this episode might end up. But look, before we get into today's topic about, you know, what the heck should you be wearing in 2022, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, you know, why it is that you do what you do, and kind of why, you know, you're still doing it.
Sure, of course. So I'm a personal stylist, also known as a fashion stylist. I help individuals, women, teens, and men embrace their body the way that they are and help them feel good in what they wear. So I studied fashion design and technology many, many, many years ago when I finished high school. And I specialised in design for menswear, women's wear, and children's wear. At the time, I knew, so taking a step back, my mum she's 84 now, a dressmaker. She made couture gowns and wedding dresses. So I was kind of exposed to it all my life. But I knew I didn't want to be in a workroom. I knew, having done an intense 4.5 years of study, that I did not want to be, I love drawing, I love designing, but I wanted to apply that elsewhere. As a startup, I also knew I did help mum initially with wedding gowns for quite a bit, but I knew that I also didn't want to go into, early on in life, in my early 20s, I knew that editorial work was not for me. The fashion world may seem full on now, but it was exactly the same back then, but without social media. So we see more of it now, right there on our screen or on our phone, in our face. Back then, we would see it first on, and then you would just see whatever was pretty in a newspaper or in a glossy magazine. So the intensity of it all was always there. The pressure, be it stylist, the word stylist didn't exist 26, 27 years ago. It just didn't. So you were a fashion assistant, you were assistant to the fashion editor. So now it's personal stylist, fashion stylist, blah, blah, blah. You were just a creative. I knew early on I didn't want to be in that world because it was very different to the reality of what we as individuals are. Day to day. So I worked in retail. I managed a few everyone works in retail when they're studying fashion.
Retail or behind the bar.
This is it. I worked, like some really high profile people that we know of today that are of similar age to me. They would have worked in the diesel store here in Sydney, retail. Everyone did a stint in retail. But anyway, I managed a few boutiques, etc. And then I decided there's got to be more to this. There's got to be more helping people come into a store, talking to them about, what to wear and guiding them. But there's got to be more. There has to be so much more than me helping you coming into a store for one particular retailer. And there has to be more what people pick up and see in a magazine. And so I started dressing and helping friends. I'm not going to say family as much. Family, it was kind of like, let's go shopping. And we did, and I would help them choose outfits, and that felt really, really good. But the minute you talk to family in a different light, they react differently. So, a lot of friends. And then that's when the pressure started being placed on me to actually get a website and to do something about it. By that stage, the word stylist had come about and had evolved, and it was more fashion stylist, image consulting. They've been around for a very long time. They are the original gurus of, helping people. But image consulting was more about colors, and styling is the whole kit and caboodle sort of thing. So I applied my fashion knowledge and helped friends feel really good within their wardrobe, and if they were getting a new job, with their image. And then I kind of developed the Style Culture website a really long time ago, and that's how it evolved. And I think once I got online, we'll call it, with the website, it just opened up a whole new world. So meant to be a 2.5 day a week business. And once the website went up, it was like, whoa, what's going on? So this is how it all started.
Yeah, and still the passion for it from way back studying, for those 4 years. I love how you've evolved into where you are today, and you've done the legwork too, right? You've done the retail stores, you've seen behind the scenes, you've seen the struggles, and the photoshopping and all the things that go on as well. Like that picture perfect doesn't exist in the real world, and I hate it. Like I taught Photoshop and putting backgrounds in and that, but when they're starting to, like, you see those before and after photos that people get, that honestly it's just not real, and some of the body shapes cannot be achieved without like losing a rib or something, right? Like it's crazy.
I love that. So true.
So true, right?
So true.
But with fashion, I love how, you really help people to feel empowered by choosing fashion. I think that, that's really beautiful, because it's not about the clothes, it's about the person, and then feeling more comfortable in their skin. I was speaking previously with another guest about, getting photos done and waiting until I lost the weight. And now, and same with buying clothes. For a long time, I've been, I'll wait till I lose the weight. And then I had to get a photo shoot, and I'm like, well, now I'm going to have to buy clothes. And so I've just started buying them, right? Like, because sure, I still want to lose the weight, but they make you feel confident, like, I mean, I've only got to look good from here to here. Like, nobody needs to know that, oh, well,
Me too. Me too.
What's going on down there?
Okay, situation.
Yes. Right. Sometimes, I can come to work in pajamas and just put a pretty scarf on and a necklace, and no one's the wiser. But, it does give you. You are, exactly. I do feel not clean, right? Unless I've put on a nice top, at least, pajama pants. That's okay in my line of work. But Look, I want to get into today's topic, and I think, people are probably curious because some people are right into fashion and really want to be guided. Other people are like, I'll just throw on a singlet and be done. And then, there are people that got that huge curiosity around, how do I know that what I'm wearing, or am I showing up right? Like the statement of, how can what you wear be a reflection on how you feel on the inside, right? So how can you, I guess, explain this in a way that, when people dress the way they think they should, how does that really start to affect their business and their life, and the way they feel? Because clothes can, make us feel certain ways. So how would you, say that this statement is true when what you wear is a reflection on what you have on the inside, right? What's going on in there, and then how it attracts things for business and life.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great point. Great question. 100% what you wear is a reflection of how you feel on the inside. And I am not talking about I'm happy I'm going to walk around in a clown suit all day. I mean, and it's not, we'll start with the basics, and I'll try and explain it as best as possible. Even you and I showing up today having combed our hair and putting a little bit of lippy on.
Yeah.
That makes us feel happy. That makes us feel nice. That means we feel nice. We will come across as nice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just the basics of grooming, just combing your hair, even if you needed to wear your pajama bottoms because you're Zooming all day, combing your hair, washing your face, putting on, if you don't want it to be a lipstick color, putting on a little bit of lip gloss, a little bit of mascara. Making the effort for you makes the effort for everything else around you. And clothes, 100%, I'll say it again, are a reflection of who we are. And I'll give you an example. If I was to show up today and forgetting about my comfortable boots that I'm wearing, but I'm on screen, and I was to show up today in a flannelette pajama for our overseas listeners, or if I was in a trackie or a hoodie. Now, nothing wrong with loungewear, nothing wrong with trackie, but if I'm sitting here as a professional and I'm trying to tell you, the listener, that making a little bit of a difference in your appearance will attract the right kind of person. And I've turned up in just a hoodie or a sweater, you're not going to take me serious. The first thing you're going to say is, well, within 7 seconds, you've already judged me, and that's just human nature. You're going to say, I'm going to take advice, or I'm going to make a business deal, or I'm going to allow her, this person, to educate me. Don't think so. Look at the way that she is. Look at the way that she is presenting herself. If that is an example of what she wants to teach me, no thank you, I'll look elsewhere. How does that make me feel? It doesn't make me feel very good if the person on the other end is not responding. And believe me, because of that first 7 seconds of being judged when I walk into a room or I appear on here, people have already switched off and they're like, this is a total waste of time. But putting on a little bit of lippy, just a nice little subtle color, or a beautiful color, a vibrant pink that I love wearing on Zoom calls, you're attracting love, trust, warmth, and your tribe, really. And you're telling people that I really like the way that I am. I'm positive. I'm confident. Please allow me to teach you how you can feel this way. Not how to be, because I don't want to dress you like I am. Sure, use what I'm wearing or what Sally's wearing as inspiration, but apply it and use it as inspiration and apply it to your own personal look and style. So, yeah, the way that if I'm feeling really yucky, and I had a few of those days where through COVID, I wasn't feeling it because I'm such a people person. And I love one-on-one with
Yeah.
people. As much as my world has become online since 2018, way before COVID, I really love meeting people, and COVID just chopped all that up. So I was making, on the dark days where I did not feel fashion worthy or pretty or whatever you might want to call it, I was still coming into my office. It's in my home, but outside,
Yeah.
dressed up. I was showing
Oh,
up for
good on
myself.
you.
As crappy as I felt,
Yeah.
I promise it made a difference to my mood. It
Yeah.
warmed me up. It
I'm
got
sh-
me going.
I'm sure it would. Yeah, look, I've never really thought of it that way. Like I have this old nightie, like grandma nightie. And when I'm feeling sad and or not well, I always put this ugly grandma nightie, like big, baggy, ugly thing, and it is a reflection of how I'm feeling. So I love how you've used the fashion, putting on your lipstick, getting dressed up, even though you weren't feeling great, but you used it as a way to inspire you to feel better, because we can control, we can control how we can't always control the emotional stuff because, things happen in our silly little brains sometimes.
Yeah.
But something
Yeah.
like putting on lipstick, getting dressed up when you're not feeling well, that's something we can control, that then you would hope would reflect forward, like when you jump in a Zoom call with somebody, you feel more confident, and rather than sort of like, oh, I've got to do this Zoom call, but you've gone to the effort.
Absolutely.
So I love how you've actually used your fashion as a way to increase your mood through COVID. Because I'm the same like you. I look like an extrovert, but I'm really an introvert who just an ambivert, I think they call it, where I
That's
recharge
me.
my
I'm an ambivert. Yeah.
yeah, I recharge my
I'm an
batteries
ambivert.
all by myself. But since 2017 or 2015, I started, but 2017, I started this business. I've always been online in a Zoom room. Best shower thought I ever had was open up Zoom and just let my people come and hang out with me. And so before COVID hit, I was already doing that. So even though I wasn't with people, I was still with people. So you would put on your best outfit, and show up. We do have a private Zoom
nice,
room.
colourful top.
Yeah, we have a private Zoom room, and sometimes, we're cooking in the kitchen and I'm still in my PJs, kind of what happens in the
I
vase
love it.
stays in the vase. But we
Thank
still,
you.
on recording days and, if I'm doing sales calls, I'm not going to turn up in my pajamas. Right? If people
This
are
is
paying
it.
5 figures to work with me, I'm going to show up like I'm worth 5 figures.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I think I think it was you actually. I saw you speak on stage one day and you spoke about dressing just a little bit above your client's level. That was you, I'm pretty sure. And I found that really interesting because, when you said like a yoga teacher wouldn't turn up in like dressed to the nines because,
That's it.
yeah. So,
Yeah. Well, a yoga teacher won't turn up wearing a suit.
yes.
Unless she was told to wear a suit, or she was being interviewed, I suppose, on television, and they required her not in her studio, but in their studio. You know what I mean? So yeah, dressing up that little bit more than your client. It's wonderful validation in yourself,
Yeah.
that it's not being fake. That's definitely not, I'm not asking anyone to ever dress for something that they don't feel and they believe in. That's definitely not me. And there is a bit of that around, that whole, I'm sure everyone has seen it on social media, where we see these beautiful smoke and mirrors of people having the time of their life, and then behind the scenes, sadly, it's a whole different world, and a lot of these people suffer mental issues and whatnot. So with me, it's quite always raw and real, but just upping the style stakes just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like a mum that's feeling a little bit dowdy, always in her gym gear at school drop off, I'll say to her, well, you know what, why don't you just add an extra layer, or a beautiful, like a scarf, or a hat, a cap.
Yeah.
Something. Just that one extra piece sometimes makes the world of difference. And you know what, I get the feedback. It comes
Yeah.
back. It's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how good or different I felt today. Thank you. And it's like, why not? Make
Yep.
your clothes are there. My slogan should be clothes are there to have fun with. And that's
Yeah.
what it is. That's what fashion is. I know that we need them because we would be arrested if we were clothed.
Yeah.
So yes, I get that. We do need to cover ourselves, but think about it. Fashion is there. It's created to have fun with, and we take it so serious. We
Mm.
make it into this big, horrible burden that it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
If you feel like you want to wear color or print or you want to be a minimalist, just do it. There's no right or wrong, and you spoke a little bit about size.
Mm.
The best thing in 2022 that it's size inclusive. I love that.
Yes. I
And these
love
fashion
that.
labels are they're feeling that pressure. These labels that even I have worked with in my younger years, that unless you were like this, you couldn't
Mm.
join that tribe. You couldn't buy their clothes. I would see women, even teens walking in, admiring, walking
Yeah.
straight out. Now the pressure is there and they're starting to produce 16, 18, 20, 22.
I
I
love
love it.
I know. Because I grew up, I was a big girl, and then I lost like 55 kilos, and we've had a few things happen, and I put on a lot of
Wow.
weight, again. But back before I lost the weight, all the clothes were ugly. Like they had big flowers on them and were baggy
I know.
tops, and it was dreadful.
Big
And
bows.
my
Big
entire
bows across you.
genealogy on my mum's side of the family, no one is a stick figure. We're all cuddly. Like I am built this way, and sure, I can lose the weight, but it's not as easy as like my dad could like shovel food in and never put on a single thing. Where for me to maintain, and it's a lot more work. I mean, we're all built different shapes and sizes. I did see an ad on television, I think it was last night, and it was a health place, but they had this big woman like karate chopping and showing all her
I
bits
saw
wobbling.
it too.
And I'm like,
Oh my
I
gosh.
love it.
Yes.
I love
It
that.
was a health ad.
It was a
a
health ad.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she
Health
punches
insurance.
and you can see all the ripples of, and she's got the rolls, right? The
Yeah.
singlet.
She's real.
And like I've got one of those bellies that have that. No matter how skinny I get, I always have that little bit that tucks in. My surgeon said that, they get 1 in every 100 people when they, because they've got to blow you up for certain surgeries, right? And people that are shaped my way, they can never blow that little ripple out, right? And it's hard to work on. But I'm just shaped that way naturally. I will never have a flat stomach. Even when I was 58 kilos, I still had that belly roll.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it's just the way I'm born. And I love that, we're getting inclusive with, gender and, people, being able to express themselves the way they want to. And, again, in that body positivity space, I think that that's really beautiful, the way that we are, transitioning to that. We're seeing behind the curtain more now, right? Where,
So true.
the skinny girls hung out with the skinny girls, and if you're a big girl, you hung out with, the big girls, and it's so much more inclusive now, where it's based on you as a person. I mean, it's still there. Don't get me wrong. It's still there. People judge people. There was something recently where, it was on the television. One girl, an athlete, had lots of muscles, and people started bagging her out for having all these muscles, right? You go from one end to the other. People can be so
can't
mean,
win. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You can't win.
I think if you can be comfortable with yourself, that's the thing you can control. You can't control what people are going to say about you.
100%.
I got lots of
You
haters out
can
there,
never.
people who don't like me. And I learnt from a woman, Valerie Burton, who said, the more haters you get, the more successful you are. And I was like,
Well, I
oh,
was going to say that's
like
when you
that.
know you've made it, right? That's exactly what I was going to say. You've got the haters. That means you've made it.
Yeah, right.
There's always going to be someone that dissects something.
Yeah. So
We as humans, even the kindest human will judge.
yeah, judgment is such a horrible thing, right? And the
Isn't it?
thing, we judge ourselves more harshly than others
Absolutely. Oh my
judge,
gosh.
right, us. And
We are our own worst critic. We are
so
our
true.
own worst enemy. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and it really, really goes to show, like, people are too busy judging themselves to be judging you. There are other people who, they get off on it, right? Some people really just like to pick on people. I've met people like that
Yeah.
that'll sit around and they feel great joy in pulling people down because
Yeah.
it's usually because inside themselves personally, they're struggling with something
There's
else.
issues.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That is
Yeah.
exactly right. They have a lot of soul searching to do. Anyway,
Exactly. Yeah. So look, why, in 2022, why is there a lot of confusion now? Like in the dressing room, lots of confusion on the rise in 2022.
yeah, okay. Wow, yes, a lot of confusion. Because for 2.5 years, we kind of came at a standstill, and we were told that we should work from home and not be in the office. So a lot of people that were dressing up and that had a lot of fun dressing up. Like I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of my corporate clients enjoyed that whole separation from the work life to the home life. So they look forward to, putting on their work clothes, going to the office. All of a sudden, they're faced with is it Teams and Zoom calls, and some people didn't even want to be seen on screen, so they didn't even need to have themselves shown. And for 2.5 years, it doesn't sound like a lot now because we're on the other end,
Yeah.
but for so long, when you are slouching around the house wearing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Oh, this is my comfort zone. I love this jumper, sweater for our US and Canadian friends. Let me just put it on. No one is seeing me. I don't need to comb my hair. All of a sudden, they're told they have to be back in the office, or management, if they're in management or high position, they're actually telling their people to be back in the office 2-3 days a week. It's like, okay, what's this new norm now? We're not the people we used to be 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
How do I dress? This is the confusion. I was so used to having my uniform to go to work. What am I supposed to wear now?
Yeah.
Even clients being both male and female, women and men, that were dressing in suits, are now having to, let's call it, dummy it down. It's not as formal. So you're still going to get the solicitor that will need to wear his suit, etc., but he might not wear a tie. Women are trying to work out what smart casual is. Okay, I've been told that Monday to Friday is now like dressing like casual Fridays. Kerry, what on earth is casual Fridays? Even though we've talked about it for so many years, what am I supposed to wear? Where do I start? Is it
Yeah.
ripped jeans? Is it jeans? Is it T-shirts? So there's confusion.
Yeah.
Where do I fit in right now in 2022 with fashion changing every few weeks? And now you
Mm-hmm.
should be wearing this. You should be wearing wide jeans. You should be wearing high-rise jeans. No. Now we're doing low-rise and we're getting back to skinny jeans. But were skinny jeans ever out? Can I wear skinny jeans? They're telling me that I need a coat. Why do I need a coat if I'm getting in my car? And by there, as in social media, if I'm getting in my car and I'm driving to work, I don't need a coat. How should I dress? They're just so confused to what should I wear? What's appropriate? What's my style now? Because I've had body shape changes as well.
Yes,
While
exactly.
few people few people did get on a wonderful fitness train, and I call it wonderful because everyone does whatever they want, right? I personally put on 6 kilos, and it just changed my mental state of mind, my mindset. Not because I feel I have to be skinny, because I want to wear the clothes that I have. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't, all of a sudden I'm like, well, what do you mean I can't wear these pants? Come on.
Yeah.
So there's been body shape changes, there's been loss. People don't feel that they are. There's been a lot of separation and divorce through COVID. A lot of babies were born through COVID.
I,
So, mums can't. Yeah, I've got those clients as well. We're calling
yeah.
them COVID babies, poor souls.
Right.
So there's so much confusion, and my advice is stop, take a minute, appreciate yourself, because we forget to. And I even fall victim to this when I'm with my regular clients that I've come to know for 12, 14, 15 years, and we meet every season or every second season. All of a sudden I'm talking to Rhonda and I'm being harsh on myself. Oh, Rhonda, 6 kilos. Oh, look at these pants used to sit differently. And
Uh-huh.
Rhonda's telling me about herself, etc. And then I'll stop and I'll go, whoa, I'm doing what I'm telling you not to do. We are our own worst critics. So
Yeah.
take a moment to appreciate yourself. Look at what you have to deal with, right? Doesn't matter if it's an 8, a 12, a 16, or 22. And Sally, let me tell you this. Women that are a size 4 and a size 6 that others might envy struggle
Mm-hmm.
with self-image
Yeah.
and what to wear and what to buy just as much as a beautiful, curvaceous 18 or 22, size 22 would.
Yeah.
That's the part that isn't spoken about. That's the part that a lot of even stylists don't cover. Everyone struggles. It just depends on where you're sitting, what
Yes.
end you're sitting on. So, yeah.
Really interesting that, because you think, okay, so when you've been larger and you lose weight, you feel like, oh my God, the rainbows, unicorns, that everything's opened up, right? Like, it's amazing. I can walk into a shop and find something to fit. Because when you're bigger, like I actually had one shop I really like to go to that mostly stocked lower, smaller size clothes. And I love that they're starting to get better at not doing that. But I want to know when the delivery is arriving, because all the 16, 18 plus run out the door, and then everything on sale is 6s and 8s, right? Because they can't get rid of them, but they buy a lot in the smaller sizes. But I never really appreciated those people that were genetically born skinnier, right? So, they still struggle. And then, I look at my daughter. My daughter takes after my husband's side of the family. She's slender and small and she struggles shopping, right? And she could buy literally anything she wants. But we go shopping and she sometimes gets so frustrated, we've just got to stop and go home. But she's got the pick of the store. And I'm like, if only, I'm telling myself, but noticing it and appreciating that it's not just the big girls that struggle, it's all sizes that can struggle finding the right thing. Fashion in itself is endless, right?
Yes.
The different things that you can choose from, and what might look good on a hanger, when you put it on, you thought, oh, that's going to make me feel amazing. You put it on like, oh no, don't feel good in that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it all starts with what's in here.
Yes.
Your beautiful daughter. You mentioned she's a 6 or an 8, and she looks at herself and she doesn't see what you see.
Exactly.
So a lot of what I do is it is inner work, and that's why there's a lot of tears sometimes at homes or in change rooms. We cry together, and it's just a beautiful, and that's where relationships are built as well. But there's a lot of laughter as well, because you have to laugh. And I always say this: if we could laugh at ourselves, we're doing okay, and we're going to be okay. So, but yeah, there is a lot of perception of, oh, she's, especially maybe where I think I met you. I don't know whether it was 216 or 217 when I did get up on a stage of 220 women, and I had to make sure my mission was to try and touch people, not to try and say, at the time I would have been a smaller size and whatnot. I didn't want them looking at me going, oh, well, she's okay. She's on stage. She's thin. She's got nothing to worry about. But every single human struggles at some point of their time with themselves. And anyone, time and exposure to people has taught me, anyone that tells you it's perfect and they are so happy every day, all day, hasn't had the reality check, or they're living in a world where they're not checking in with themselves.
Yeah, they're not. They don't have a high EQ. They're not. Yeah, they're a narcissist if they think that everything's perfect.
And insecure. and insecure and totally
those
insecure.
That put
and
that perfect, picture perfect, Instagram picture perfect. I mean, Instagram is definitely getting more raw now, less
thank God.
It was really bad. Everything was filtered, and we were speaking about that
right?
in the last interview about how, the filters, I'm glad, are on the way. They're the fun filters, a bit of sparkle and some unicorn horns, that's a bit of fun.
Little ears. yeah.
But I think when, with what you do, it's deeper than just clothes. Like you said, we cry together, we laugh together. Yeah. It's a therapeutic thing that you're also doing with people. Sure, you're helping them choose clothes, but you're giving them the confidence in themselves to kind of be proud of, stepping forward, putting their best foot forward. And you're more of a mindset coach that likes to put pretty things together.
You know what? Yeah, people have said that to me, and I'm like, but I haven't got a background in that.
You don't need a piece of paper. The thing that I truly believe in is if you have helped enough people that you understand a particular thing that they struggle with, and you've been able to help enough people, and you learn through helping, that's social proof alone of the amount of clients that you've cried with and fixed things and made them laugh and give them the confidence. That's worth more than now going and trying to get that piece of paper for the sake of getting the piece of paper. I mean, I went and started studying my master's in education teaching, and I was already teaching. And I was chasing this piece of paper, and then I got there and I'm like, I hate this. Like, I've never quit anything before that I've studied. I always like to be one of those, people that finish. And I got into the first year and I'm like, they're making me write all this crap and read all this stuff, and I'm losing points because I don't put the comma in the right place in my bibliography. And I'm like, why am I doing this to myself when I'm already teaching? So, that's one thing that I didn't finish. So, you have the life skills, the years of experience. You don't need that bit of paper. You've transformed lots of people's lives.
Oh, it's been wonderful for 25 years of exposing yourself to personalities. You do learn a lot. And every single person is different. And I think that's where my drive comes from, because I genuinely believe every single person deserves to feel good in what they wear and about themselves. And it's not about price tag. People make it about price tag. I've dressed women from Kmart, Target, and let me tell you, they've landed that job and they rocked it. They looked like $1 million,
Yes.
So it's just knowing that this is what we have, loving what we have, and seeing what we can do with it. Sure, I'm going to say to you, you mentioned to me your tummy area is an area of concern. I'm not going to put you in a crop top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to put you in a skin tight top around your tummy. That's not being fair to you. you need to feel comfortable, but you need to not be conscious of that area if you're walking into a room or going into
Yes.
an interview. So it's just learning showing the tricks of the trade and
Yeah.
little style hacks.
I love that. Yeah, we've all got little areas that are of concern,
Yeah.
right? Like I always wear long sleeves because I've got tuck shop lady arms and a fold, right? There's nothing I can do about it. I would
I
have to
love
go
that
and get
term.
surgery, right?
I
To
love
get
that
rid of it. No matter how skinny I got, I always had tuck shop lady arms and the little roll right here.
Are you going to tell people what tuck shop is?
Oh.
Because I used that term when I
Yeah.
was Skyping back then to Canada and
Yep.
tuck shop.
They didn't
What's
know.
that?
Okay, so you know when you go, you're at school, or the lady that dishes you up the food, and she's got the hairnet on, and she's all sweaty because she's been in the kitchen, and she's probably constantly eating all the things she's making, and she's out and she's serving up, and she's got a little singlet on because she's so hot behind the kitchen, and then you've got these little things flapping around, right? That's tuck shop lady arms, right? Because you see her scooping, and then the arm stops moving, but the skin keeps flapping. Sorry.
Thank you for that. That's good.
So,
And
yeah.
if I could take this off, I would show you my tuck shop.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
baby. So I mean, it's I try sometimes, like around where I do it when I'm overseas. That's the funny thing. When I'm overseas, I will wear singlets, but when I'm here, I don't.
Hey,
Yeah.
really?
Maybe because it's hot and
So
I
what
always
do you
go
think
to
that
like
is?
Thailand or but I don't care when I'm overseas. But when
Maybe
I'm
you
home,
feel good about yourself. Okay.
yeah, it's really strange. That's a mindset thing I probably should dig into a little more. Why does it matter?
Interesting.
And you look, I was following some of the bigger girls. Recently, I just started kind of looking at some of these because I'm trying to personally be more accepting of my size. And I look back at my entire mum side of the family and nobody's skinny, right? And I can tell you sometimes it's not for lack of trying. But it's harder for some than the others. And I'm like, I just need to kind of step into my cuddliness and be okay with it. And, if it becomes uncomfortable and painful or those sorts of things, then sure, do something about it.
Yeah.
But there are so many people that I see that are big, bold, beautiful, and they don't give a shit. Like they don't care. They wear the tight tops. They let the rolls hang out. And I was looking, some of them, not that followers to me, it's not a show of, how famous you are or anything, but some of them have massive cults.
I love that. I have heard you say that before recently, and I love what you said. Yeah.
So
about the followers. But
yeah,
anyway.
about the followers. Yeah, it's not followers to me, it's just, someone's clicked a button. When somebody gives me their email address and they come and hang out in my world and then they buy my things, well, they're, they're real.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who say they don't buy followers, they buy followers. They do.
I can't believe that still happens in this day and age,
still
right?
totally happens. Yeah, there's a couple of big influencers that us as a team, we were kind of looking at. And then we realized, like, they're selling stuff about, growing your followers and all of that. And when we looked at their account, they had blocked you being able to see all their followers.
Oh, no.
And,
okay,
and
well,
we were like,
followers.
ooh, that's a little strange, right? And so one of my social media girls started scrolling through the ones they could see, and a lot of them had hardly any followers. So they were like fake.
Oh, gotcha.
And, these people are telling you that, how they're selling programs around how to gain followers. But if you dig deeper, you could tell that it wasn't legit.
They don't have,
Whatever I've got is what I've got, right? My bank account doesn't need to be a reflection of how many followers I've got.
So true. Hallelujah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we couldn't
Absolutely.
have, we couldn't have made 7 figures with 2,000 followers online. Oh, yes, we could. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And there is some gorgeous girls that talk a similar talk with you. saying that they're helping women make 6 and 7 figures, and they are under 2K, followers, I should say, under 2K followers.
Yeah.
So it's that email list.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
quality.
that's
Totally quality. I was reviewing with our clients. We're totally off fashion now. We're on to business. But I was reviewing with my clients the other day, like my stats. So I don't hide what I bring in and, the results that we get. And our previous launch, we had half the amount of people sign up for our free training that sells into our program. However, we were spending $1 to make 5 with double the amount of followers. This time we were spending $1 to make 14 with half the amount of subscribers. So it's quality.
That's amazing.
Right? It's the quality of people that you bring in.
Yeah.
And also, the
is.
snowball effect when you are growing your list every day, you're showing up every day. Yes, Ma says quality over quantity. Exactly. Quality over quantity.
100%.
Yeah, so don't let your followers be a reflection of, I need more followers. You don't. You really don't.
I stopped worrying about that years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. It's like,
I know,
whatever
right?
sort of thing.
It's vanity
Oh my
metrics. It's vanity metrics.
That's exactly what it is. And people feel the need to validate themselves.
Yes, I know.
So anyway.
Yeah, it's good, hey.
So full on. It's so full on.
So
you could do a whole episode on that alone.
Oh, totally. What advice would you give somebody, like if they're trying to create a wardrobe that's kind of balanced and makes them feel confident? What sort of advice would you give somebody who's, out there looking and they're trying to choose like a balanced wardrobe that, they can go to and still sort of show up confidently, but then also be, use them in everyday wear as well?
Okay. I think you have to start with what's currently in your wardrobe, because a lot of the times clients will approach me and say, I hate what's in my wardrobe. Let's go shopping. I want to create a whole new style. I can do that with my eyes closed, but I always say to them, whether you engage in my services to come over or virtually to detox and edit your wardrobe, or whether you do it yourself, please start there before you consider spending any money moving forward to buy new clothes, accessories, etc. Because me or you adding more clothes to your wardrobe that you're already unhappy with is not going to solve your problem. So start with the wardrobe, edit and cull basically anything that is too old, well worn, well loved, something that you won't wear anymore because it no longer fits you, or it's just not you. For example, a few people will hold on to disco day dresses that they love and they look really, really pretty, but they know they'll never wear them again because life has changed, the social scene has changed, or they've had children, etc. So I say either if it's precious, package it, store it away, or sell, donate, last option, throw. Cull, edit your wardrobe. Make sure you've got the pieces that, cliche, spark joy, that are real.
Yeah. Marie Kondo.
That make you happy. That make you happy. That make you happy.
Yeah.
Leave what you have there that fit you now, unless you have a program in mind or a time frame where you've said, I've just started a fitness program, a health kick, I'm just coming off having an operation, and the medication I was on, because this does happen, the medication I was on, I gained a lot of weight, so I don't want to part with these clothes now. So they're the clothes that you hang on to. Then you have the pile, let's call it, that currently brings you joy and that you really love. Everything else, truly, you say goodbye to. If you haven't worn something in more than 2 seasons, Sally, I promise you're not going to wear it. You are not going to wear it. 2 seasons, and that's two winters, yes. 2 winters, 2 summers. Yeah. You'll be staring at it. You'll be opening up your wardrobe, and you will feel frustrated, thinking, I have all these clothes. Why do I not have anything to wear? I cull every 3 months. Now, you might say, oh, that's a lot of clothes. No. It might be one outfit, one top, one pair of gym pants. It might be my underwear. Every 3 months I go through and I take something out just to make sure things aren't there that shouldn't be there. And sure, there is times where I've dragged that out every 6 months, but it just makes me kind of stay on top of what I have. And I'm not, for many, many years now, I'm not a fast fashion girl. I believe in quality, longevity, than quantity, because fast fashion is a massive dopamine hit. You'll feel really good, but in 3, maybe even 4 months max, it's
Yeah.
out and you're out there spending more money. If you
Yeah.
bought something that's modern, fresh, but will go the distance. It's not big logos or, a particular thing that is heavily trending now. You'll be able to wear the quality in that season after season until you've worn it to death and you can go. So start with your wardrobe to answer
Good
your
idea.
question. Edit your wardrobe. Look at your lifestyle, your business. Are you working more online? Have you started with what you do and your lovely tribe do? Is it an online business now where it's from the neck down, or are you standing somewhere teaching someone something where you'll be able to see the genes, etc.? So think about that.
Yeah.
Lifestyle, career choice right now, and then if you know you are working more from home, or you're an entrepreneur, you've just started a new business and it's going to be a lot of educating online, you're going to concentrate on this
Yeah.
and top half. You're
Yep.
not going to be spending a lot of money, time and effort looking for pants and whatnot. If you're planning on doing a little bit of both, where there's online and you're going to do some meetings with clients or stage works, that's where you look at what you have.
Yep.
Then you're going to make a list. I've done the edit at home. This is what's missing. I am going to need a coat. I'm going to need a jacket. I am going to need maybe one pair of pants and a pair of jeans because I'm not a dress or a skirt person. List building is the most important thing. If you engage my services, the first thing I say to you is, after we've done all the work, I'll say to you, can you tell me what's on your wish list? You might say, I don't have anything. Can you tell me something that you've always wanted to find but you've never had any luck? That's your wish list. That's your shopping list. I
Yeah.
would never step foot into a store ever and randomly drift around looking for clothes. When I go shopping on my own, I have a piece of paper or on my phone, and it's got one thing, 10 things, whatever it might be. So when they're coming at me, and retail and sales assistants are coming at me, and let me tell you, they've got their budgets to make, right? And they will
Yeah.
think that make you feel beautiful in everything,
Yeah.
even if
I hate
half
asking
your
them
bum,
what they think.
oh,
Yeah, I always.
even if half your bum's hanging out, they're
Yeah.
going, oh, that's just gorgeous, but I can't do it up. Oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Let's
I
just
love
do
to
it
ask
up.
my daughter because she's brutally honest if it doesn't look good. Like I could ask my husband, and I mean he doesn't care if I wear nothing, right? So
Oh.
I'm not
Healthy.
100% sure if I trust what he says because he loves me no matter what I'm in or not in. But my daughter, she's 17, so she'll be totally off it. Like, no, mum, no. And I'm like, okay, I trust.
No, that is shopping with a friend.
Yeah.
I like that. And someone that's going to be honest for all the right intentions, because sadly there's friends that are honest for all the wrong intentions.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah.
But
we just had a question
and
actually come in. Mar is asking, what are 3 must-haves in your wardrobe?
Okay, good pair of jeans. That could be black or blue or dark ink, doesn't matter. Good pair of jeans, a blazer, I say blazer, people instantly think, oh, corporate. No. It could be a boyfriend blazer with no buttons on it, just ups the style antics, and a good pair of shoes. And your shoes could be a flat, a sneaker. That's your accessory or your statement piece. When your outfit is feeling a bit nah, Your shoes will carry your entire outfit. So 3 pieces definitely
Yeah, I love
as
that.
a
Yeah,
must.
shoes. Right, I'm not a huge shoe buyer because, well, I've had like a couple of back surgeries, so I have to always wear flats, and it's not always there's not a huge variety of really cool flats that are also comfortable because of all of the things.
Yeah.
But I did find a pair of Skechers that sparkle, and I'll tell you, every
Ah,
time I go out and I wear my Skechers, I'm comfortable, and I get compliments in
there you go.
Skechers. Right? And
Because
so,
people are noticing.
because it
People notice.
sparkles, and I'll literally be, I'll just be in a dress with some leggings on, but everyone goes, "Oh, I love your shoes." And I'm
Yeah.
comfortable and they sparkle. So that's my go to now. I actually said to my husband, I need to stock up on them because when they get old,
Different
will
colours.
no longer be in fashion, and they are actually
I think
comfortable.
Skechers do that. They've always had a bit of sparkle,
Yeah.
in every range. So,
Yeah.
and they're
But
bloody comfortable.
yeah, really, but they've got like the little gemstones on them and stuff as well. My
Ooh.
mum walked
Ooh.
past a shop the other day and saw a pair of shoes that were literally like the whole, and it was a flat, all sparkle, like super, super sparkly.
Wow.
And she went in and she said, "Oh yeah, no, these are limited." And like the next day, I'm down there buying myself because it's hard to find flat,
And good
sparkly,
shoes.
really
Yeah.
good shoes,
Yeah.
and I cannot
Yeah.
wear high heels. Literally, it would like kill me, and I'd end up back in surgery again. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, like these people that can walk around in all these beautiful high heels, like I look at them, but then I also look at and I think about what I've been through with the surgery, and I think I get it that it looks good. And each to their own. But when I see people in high heels now, all I see is pain.
Look, and that's probably 90% of everyone out there after COVID, coming out of COVID. I had this conversation yesterday with a lovely lady, Kim, and she said she was giving her high heels away.
Yeah,
She just can't wear them and doesn't even want to wear them anymore.
that's
So
so good.
COVID changed a lot of things,
Mm.
how we wear things, how we present ourselves. But just wrapping up just quickly with that last question.
Yep.
So I want you to think about your social life, your work life, your budget, and then start an inspiration board. In the old days, we would cut out clippings from magazines. Pinterest is awesome. I direct everyone onto Pinterest. It's free to sign up, and you can just see what you like, the many thousands and thousands of different inspiration, the photos, and then you start to develop your own style. So that's a good place to start.
I really love that. I'm actually going to take your advice because I'm struggling to like move the clothes in my wardrobe right now to actually see what's in there because I have so many things that just don't fit. I'll get into it one day. You know what? If I lose the weight, I'll probably just want new things anyway. So I should totally
That's
just
exactly what
take them
happens.
down. I donate to, there's an op shop here, a donation store that helps the lost dogs home. I love to donate to them. And, I've got some really lovely, I should just put them in a bag and give them to Goodwill to help the little puppy dogs. And,
Yep.
yeah, you know what? That might be my weekend project. If my husband's listening,
You know what? It will.
But he will be like, yes,
Will,
I've been trying to get you to do that for 2 years.
you will feel like a weight has lifted from your shoulders.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
the
sure.
it's the most unbelievable feeling because I've seen it again and again and again. Just parting with that, and there's a lot of emotion.
Well, I think
attached
that's the
to a lot of these clothes.
Every time I try to cull my wardrobe, I only end up removing a very small amount, and I had my husband's mum, she was down from interstate staying, and she helped me cull through my wardrobe, well, it feels like not long ago, but it was probably pre-COVID. But yeah, I find it really hard. Like most things, I'm not really a hoarder, but I think when I lost the weight, it was very easy to throw all the big clothes out. Like that was therapeutic. But now that I've got all the skinny clothes, I find it really hard to throw them away.
Well, don't throw them, donate them somewhere, and your heart will feel full. because you're
Yeah, give
doing
with
it for a
joy,
greater
good
cause.
karma, someone can
Absolutely.
appreciate
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
I have a task that I should really do. I
Good.
think that therapeutic feeling, because I was in there just, a couple of days ago thinking, oh my God, I can't move the clothes to see the singlet that I need to wear under this top because they're so squished in this little tiny cupboard. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, all right, there we go. Challenge accepted. I'm going to edit my
Good.
wardrobe.
Excellent. You'll feel so much better for it. And you're going to put them in a garbage bag
Yeah.
so that they're out of sight, out of mind. And you're going to remove them from the bedroom because a lot of people will go through it again and start putting back on the hanger. It happens. So you're going to remove whatever you take out of your wardrobe out of the bedroom or out of your walk-in closet or wherever it is that you have.
Yeah.
So it's out of sight. You're going to
Yes.
detach yourself from that emotion.
Yeah, good idea. I'll get them donated as fast as possible so that I don't have
Awesome.
to. And what I really like about the Lost Dogs Home donation as well is anything that you have that is like got holes in them or, you can't donate, they actually make rags out of them and they send them overseas to third world countries.
Love.
As well.
Love.
So you
There you
can
go.
yeah, so you can make up not just the clothes that you believe they can put on the shelf, but anything that could be turned into rags you can also send and then they cut them up and send them overseas to third world countries.
Perfect.
So
Perfect. You've just answered your
I
own,
have. Look at this. What a great interview, right?
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. And you'll feel better for it as well. Letting
Thank
go.
you.
Just
Well,
letting go of that.
yes. Look, we have to do the sparkle questions or my girls will get angry at me.
Oh, okay.
So, what's one thing you wish you had known before you began your career?
Uh, I guess one thing I wish I had known before I started the personal styling business is that you can't please everyone, and you're not going to appeal to everyone, and you just have to get on with it and do it anyway. You will attract eventually your own tribe if you persevere long enough. You will attract your people. Does that make sense? Because when I
Yeah.
first started out, I thought I had to help the world.
Yes.
Everyone needed my help, So, and what appeals to me may not appeal to the person next to me, sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
I think that was one of my biggest lessons. And the minute I stopped trying to please everyone and just be me and educate people in what I know, I started to relax and I started to attract my people, I suppose, or people
Yeah.
that can relate to me.
Yeah. And then that goes back to like so many people struggle with that, especially when they start business, and I think as the types of people that we are, where we want to do more for people, transform lives, help them in all different sorts of ways, you do want to help everybody. But even for what I do, as soon as I like honed in on, one particular way, that's actually what made the big difference. And it was more clearer to people. People that follow me want to transform lives. They do it not for the money. But they also know they want to sell high ticket and need, sales and marketing tech set up. Right. But we're very clear. We only use 4 specific pieces of tech. Right. When before we used to teach all the tech. And now, as soon as we did that, we attracted the tribe of people that are like, I don't want to decide on the tech. Just somebody tell me.
Just do it. Do it for me.
And before I was trying to help everybody in no matter what tech they decided to build their online business in. And that was the shift for us, was when we decided to stop trying to help every single type of business owner. And we only focused on high ticket coaches who want to transform lives using the tech system we recommend.
And your expertise, I would imagine, right? Not to have to sit there and justify it. You are a lot younger than me, but for me, my expertise means a lot to me. And I trying to justify it a very long time ago, you know. So
Yeah.
there's something out there for everyone. And if
Yeah.
it doesn't suit you, too much time and energy was, you know, in the early days spent trying to tell someone what I know and why, you know, you charge even what you charge
Yes.
sort of
Trying
thing.
to
So,
convince people. It's not about convincing them
yeah,
at all. It's not.
no way. And in the scheme of things, people will blow money on rubbish. People will get online and spend $400, $500, $600 on rubbish that they'll never wear, yet they will think twice about bettering themselves,
Ah,
about
I
making their
know.
life a little bit easier, or the walking, talking business card that is them. You know, they don't want to pay to make the walking, talking business card more sellable or approachable, but they will question, you know, prices. Anyway, that was a long time ago. I haven't had to deal with any of that for a very, very long time, thankfully.
Yeah.
And I just that is the belief in what you
Yeah.
do, sort of thing, and that
Yeah.
you can't help everyone
Yes, you can't
as
help
much as we want to.
everyone. Yeah, definitely. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, sparkle question number 2. See, these are always ones to get you kind of thinking. So,
Ah,
what is one of your biggest failures, but what did you learn from it?
oh, oh my God, biggest failure. Okay, I guess I'm going to go again right back to the beginning of not so much the fashion designing, but the creative, the personal styling.
Mm-hmm.
One of my biggest failures was, I suppose, that I felt everything had to be perfect before I started. And by perfect, I mean, the website. I still don't navigate social media as well as I should, considering the years I've been on Facebook and all the rest of it. But
Yeah.
I don't know, that guilt of I have young ones. I need to wait until they're older. That
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a setback and a failure on my part as well.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to love you anyway. That just do it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as there's love, there's shelter, there's food on the table. You know, you're there to give them a cuddle and a kiss at night. They'll be okay. I think I failed myself on that part because I could have done this a lot earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and that procrastination and guilt set in.
Yes.
I'm a mum now. I've got little kids that I have to be there for them. A business takes a back burner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they come first. Yeah, I do see that as a failure. And if I could go back, I would have started a lot earlier, to be honest with you. I would have,
Yeah.
even though it's been a good, 14, 15 years, I would have started earlier because the kids are going to be okay. You're not neglecting them. You're still
Yeah.
providing for them. There's food on the table.
Yeah.
There's shelter. Do it
That
anyway,
Do it
you
anyway.
know?
You know, that mother's guilt is real. So real. I'm the first woman
Yeah.
in my generational line in our family, not only still working after kids, but starting my own business.
I
And
love that.
my mum used to come over and say, "Stop working so hard and look after your husband." And it took her
I got that.
years to see that this was real. And I
Yeah.
did put this off. Like, I think to myself, if I had thought about this in my 20s, right? Like, actually followed through on
Yeah.
all the ideas. And it really wasn't until my late 30s that I really started to realize I'd always been an entrepreneur at heart, but bugger it, just go all in. Right? You know,
Do it.
just do
Yeah.
it. Like, quit your job. You know, I think my gateway drug to like quitting my job was network marketing. I got into that. It was like a personal development company in disguise. I got really good at it, but I still had a boss. And it was kind of the gateway drug into finally just going, you know what? I'm going to sell things from my garage until I make money. I'm going to hire a coach. I'm going to do it right. And
Wow.
you know, I'd always been an entrepreneur using things to make money, but I always had a job. And then when I
Yep.
decided to kind of, just do whatever, like just say yes and then figure out how, was one of the big sort of decisions I came to when I decided, well, this is it. Like, and I guess a really big defining moment for me was when we lost our son. I was like, I cannot continue to work for people because it's just not me. I always had a side hustle from when I was 8, right? I was buying things from the
Right.
local market and selling them at my grandfather's stall and nan's stall. I was finding ways to make
Wow.
money. But after that, there was this awakening that I need to like do what I love regardless of the money. And then, once, but then we had my daughter and mother guilt kicked in because, you have to stay home. You have to do
Yeah.
all the
Well,
things,
yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
you're not a good
Yeah.
mum.
If you don't. I know.
Yeah. And that,
I know. Anxiety. Yeah.
really, really
We
plays
put
with your
ourselves
head.
in boxes, and
Mm-hmm.
and truly, I do see that for me as a failure.
Yeah.
I really wish I had started earlier. My husband says to me, "But years on, don't worry, don't think
Mm.
about it," you know. But
But you
and I
learnt
think the
from
respect
it.
level,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What do you
And
reckon is the
things
biggest
that
thing
I
you
learned
learnt from that? Yeah.
that life will be okay if you take that big leap. If you do it anyway,
Mm-hmm.
do it anyway. Your kids are going to be okay. If you have enough heart and soul
Yeah.
and you apply that, things will start to happen. Even when you're doubting yourself, just keep fighting through it, keep fighting through it. Like in COVID, when all the creatives all over the world, but especially in Australia, people that were doing editorial work and TV work came to a complete standstill,
Mm-hmm.
zero income. And I sit there and I say, thank you, thank you, thank you for
Yes.
pushing yourself out of the comfort zone when, you were going, you can't do this, and setting this up online in 2018. So the switch was like automatic.
Yeah.
We did it. It was COVID, it was awful, but life kind of continued for my business because I would say, let's just Zoom. I can help you in your wardrobe. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We're going to edit and detox that wardrobe.
Well,
Exactly what I do there, you're going to do it while I'm here with you. So,
yeah, I think
the big,
that learning from that you can do it no matter what, I think that's a really valuable lesson. There's always a way, like you saw people through COVID where, I understand like the food industry really suffered and the restaurants and all of that, but there was some people that still figured out ways,
and they made a lot of money from it
and
as
they
well.
did. If you're willing
Yeah.
to pivot, if you're willing to think outside the box and then figure out
Yeah.
how, they're like, I mean, my husband and I, look, we, like you, we thanked our, like, we were lucky. We both had been working online for a very long time. So for us, there was no big change, except now I didn't have to send out instructions on how to get into Zoom because I'd been using Zoom as part of my business since 2015. So I didn't have to send instructions out anymore. But yeah, we were so blessed that we were already both working like that from home, where, some people struggled to think outside the box. But for you, that, hey, with that regret that you've got, you're going to make it work because you're not going to put it off any longer, no matter what life throws at you. I think that's a really valuable lesson for everybody out there,
Yeah.
All right. What's one of the best resources that's helped you along the way?
In the styling industry,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think where the tech side of things is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
I have learnt a lot by probably since maybe 2016, where I got to meet people like yourself, and there were discussions about funnels. Oh my God,
Yeah.
what
Oh,
on earth
sexy
is a
funnels.
funnel?
I love them.
Sexy funnels. Oh my, they scared the pants out of me. But anyway, on the creative side of the world. Anyway, but exposing myself, again, stepping out of your comfort zone, asking the dumb questions in a room that I felt were the dumb questions in the room about simple things like funnels or back end. For me, platforms like, honestly, platforms like your own that make it fun learning, that are engaging, that don't make you feel like you're seriously stupid because you don't get this. And now I feel like, hang on, I've got my expertise. I don't pretend to, if I've got a blocked drain, I don't pretend to be the plumber.
Yes.
I hire an expert to do that.
Yes.
So when you need an outfit together because you're presenting, you're going to call me, and that's
Yes.
my expert. So like yourself, that word genius zone gets thrown around a lot, but your genius zone, so
Yeah.
that, as far as the tech side is concerned, I've learned a lot. And as much as I kind of shy away from platforms like Facebook and Instagram, because it's more that fear of, putting myself out there. I can talk about fashion and how to make you feel good until to all eternity. But doing this is, I'm a back end person.
Yeah.
So I like to make it about my clients. But that, I think, places like Pinterest, I place a lot of value on it, even though they're getting more commercialized now. I don't know if Facebook bought them, but there's a lot more ads going up in Pinterest. But Pinterest is such a beautiful place for stylists and anyone that wants to learn about clothes and fashion, and it really is a good platform to be inspired, where magazines
really
might not.
interesting. I love that. I've always thought I need to learn more about Pinterest, but I do use it for sparking creative ideas. And one thing I do like about Pinterest compared to like Facebook and Instagram, where they all want to keep you on platform, Pinterest's purpose is to guide you and then get you to click a button and leave the platform and go and see other people's stuff.
Something else.
Yeah, so it's more like they're kind of bringing really cool images together for you to then click and leave the platform, but having a place to begin, like bringing things together. And I think that's one beautiful thing that I admire about Pinterest, where, when you set things up on these other platforms, it's like they want to keep you on platform, where Pinterest have all the links for you to leave. Like when I'm trying to choose what color style to get my hair done next, or when my daughter's trying to design her office, we start there. We pin everything, and then we start to cull out the bits that don't match, and then all of a sudden this really vague idea turns into boho styles that
something beautiful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And she's very much like a little minimalist, not very much color, very different to her mother.
But that might change.
It may, right? She's 17. She's still trying to figure herself out, right? Like I went through the goth phase, the hippie phase, all the things, right? So
that's what we do.
Yeah,
we experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
So
look, I think that's great. That was a really interesting one. Actually, just thinking of Pinterest as a resource, I'd never really, and not a lot of people will choose a social media thing. Some people might choose an author or a book or something like that. But yeah, and then that made me remember
I've got
curiosity.
I do have the beautiful books, the fashion books, the self help books that inspire me. Of course, I love to read, but I think I'm very much a visual person.
Yeah.
And where my clients, because this is going to sound so daggy, but I am inspired by every new person I meet, because every single person is different and they teach me something. With every client, I learn something new. But I think Pinterest is just something nice on a break, just be inspired.
Definitely as a creative person as well. That's fabulous. All right, my final one is you have to complete this sentence.
Oh, no.
Yes. I'm Kerry, and I sparkle because So there you go.
I'm Kerry and I sparkle because I have made a difference to your day.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that.
It just fills my heart with love and joy when I have made a difference to one person that I have met. Just each person.
Yeah.
If I can make a difference just to that one person, it's all worth it. It's
So
all
beautiful.
worth it.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
beautiful. Well, I'm going to take a before and after photo of my wardrobe, okay, and send it to you.
go on, do it. Yes, please.
Seriously, I'm going to
see
take that challenge because my husband has been annoying the hell out of me for so long to clear my wardrobe because he did it to his a while ago, and I just keep putting it off. I think and to be totally honest, it's because of all the skinny clothes in there. So thank you so much, Kerry, for this amazing chat. We've been speaking for an hour and 25 minutes. So
Oh my gosh, have we?
We have.
Thank you, Sally. This has been really, really good. And please do that wardrobe cleanse. You'll feel so much better for it. I promise
will,
you.
yes. You've inspired me, lady. You're an amazing person, and I'm so blessed to have you in my life. And I've had a lovely time.
Much.
Can you believe it? An hour and 25 minutes. So everybody
That's
out there, everybody out there.
And if anyone listening would like their wardrobe done,
yes. Oh, I forgot. I need to do that. How do people find out more about you, Kerry? I need to do that little bit.
You can go to styleculture.com.au, and I have online styling packages that were developed a very long time ago that cater for each individual, or one-on-one if you're in Sydney.
I love that. Hey, and we're all online. You can go shopping on your phone with Kerry in your back pocket.
I do that too. I actually shop for clients online. So yes.
I love that. So
Thank
good.
You, Sally. Thanks so much.
Yeah, look, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I think, we're going to be in each other's lives for a long time. I just think, I vibe well with you, and, we can go off on all kinds of tangents. It's kind of turned into a bit of a tangent episode. Me and one of my staff members and, somebody who interviewed me, this is Straight Talk with Sally, right? But I was listening to an episode that we did with Megan herself, and we went off onto all of these tangents. And I said, what we need to do is start a tangents talk with Sally and Megan. Have a goal in mind and just kind of go with the flow.
That would be me. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think
it's been so much fun. Yeah, so much fun. All right, guys.
So much for inviting me.
Yeah, ring the tangent bell. That's Mars telling me now. Ring the tangent bell. I literally have a tangent bell that I ring.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up, and we'll hang on in. We'll chat after the show. But thank you, everyone who joined us for today and for our live batching day. We do this now. It used to be on a certain day every month. It's now every 6 weeks. So lock it into your calendar, or make sure that you subscribe to our channel. So make sure you click the little button and click the little bell for notifications. Or if you go to that email address right there, that one, you can actually hit the subscribe button, and we give you a little ding ding. You can see them in your own time zone, all of our live streams, not just our podcasting, but also any of the other things that we live stream and teach people things. Right? So if you want to learn about sales and marketing and all the things around being a high ticket coach, then I'm your girl. But don't ask us to teach you how to make candles. That's not what I do. Or surfboards. Can't do that. But, this kind of thing that we're doing right now, this is what we do. Sales and marketing automation and all those sexy numbers and funnels, as Kerry was like, oh, I'm like, no, give them to me, baby. All right, thanks everyone for joining us. I hope you are all having a fabulous morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. Make sure you never let anyone dull your sparkle. Let's thank our amazing guest, Kerry. Yeah. All right, and we're going to dance this one out together.
I will not bow down. Keep putting me off, I'm not gonna change my mind. You're headstrong forward, but this time around I'm taking